Hi guys, it's Mikey here and welcome back to my YouTube channel with another video. And today I'm filming this video in a very gloomy, kind of grey August day. It's been like that all July basically, and yeah, London hasn't really had much of a summer. This video is going to be about my favourite musician and also about one of my favourite bands of all time, about the great George Michael and Wham, which had George Michael and Andrew Ridgeley in it. So in this video, we're kind of going to cover two things. Like, it's going to be me, first of all, reviewing the Wham documentary, and also I'm going to give you my top 5 George Michael and Wham tracks. Yeah, I guess you can maybe call this video like a tribute of some sort. I guess my earliest memory of George Michael's music, I would say, because I kind of was more aware of him as a musician before Wham. I think way back when SingStar, which is like a karaoke game on PlayStation 2. But yeah, I remember my parents buying me PlayStation 2 and SingStar came with it, and I remember listening to this one song, anyone who played that game will know, and I was like completely taken by it. Let me see if anyone can guess from this. Yep, it's the jukebox, the aviators and the leather jacket with the jeans and the cowboy boots. It was that look. That was the first time I was kind of exposed to George Michael's music, and I guess also my parents are from that like 80s and 90s era, so they kind of played that music quite a lot as well. From the actual game, I remember, I think that was probably my most played song on SingStar Karaoke, singing it so often, and I knew that I really enjoyed this style of music and this energy, just the overall package of a musician that he was, with the dancing and the singing and his just overall style. Straight into reviewing the documentary Wham, which I watched on Netflix in my room with my headphones on, no disruption, nothing, and I was just like really focused onto it. I really loved that it was a really fast-paced documentary. I think it was beautifully directed. Everything was really nicely put together. It was a really well-balanced documentary. It kind of highlighted the highs and the lows of the band, their beginnings, and then how they really tried to like break through, and all of the things they had to do to get to the great band that they, boy band that they became, Wham. Especially for myself, I think my knowledge of like Wham as a band wasn't too great, and the pacing of the documentary was also like phenomenal. No point did it feel like it was dragging out. From the beginning, you were taken into the beginning of their journey when they were both like school kids, and then they kind of started their journey from there. I thought that was really nicely done, like straight in. And I think as a production, it really felt vibrant and light and happy and jubilant kind of energy around it, which like reflected how Wham was as a band in the 80s. So I think that was really beautifully done. What I really loved was how we were taken into George Michael's creative process, from how he marketed himself at the beginning of his journey, how he was as a singer, how he was as a dancer, how he was as a bandmate, the dynamic between him and Andrew, how that all created that foundation to him becoming that solo superstar. Yeah, and I think all of that kind of came together and really gave you a clear idea of how every little bit of his journey with Wham fed into his projection into like that stardom of him as a solo musician. I'm kind of happy like how it really did like bring to light how important Andrew Ridgeley's input was to the band and to the music that was produced. It's like really impressive how the documentary showed how integral Andrew was to the band as a whole, and what an influence he was to, I guess, George Michael as well, and how Andrew gave him that kind of thrust, develop into that solo artist. I really like their dynamic as well, and how they really embraced each other, and I don't know, I felt that kind of brotherly love that they had towards one another, and I think that was what was so beautiful. I really loved to see how like the documentary showed so much of that like old footage of like when they started, well, at the very beginning of their career, when they were performing in like nightclubs, on the bars and the tables and stuff like that. I enjoyed how it showed the filming of like Last Christmas. I thought that was really kind of amusing, and yeah, how they were like all at the table and it was like real wine in those glasses, and I just thought it was really amusing, and I feel like you could really feel the energy like when you watch the music video, and I'm happy like that the documentary kind of got into that and gave it a bit more context. I also felt like the documentary really peeled back like layers of like George Michael's character as well, and like showed how much his music and his, I guess, image as a musician and all of that meant to him. The documentary added a deeper understanding of my knowledge of their music. Their music is fun. It's vibrant. It's vibes. It's happy. But it also has this kind of like social commentary aspect in the lyrics, and it was really nice to see that highlighted by both Andrew and George. And I never really had that perspective on that socio-economic situation of young people at the time. I'm happy that the documentary got into that deeper meaning of their music. My one criticism would be, I guess, I wish there was more input from like other creatives within the Wham production side, and also maybe from their friends and families. I think there was only like one interview or two from like the father. But anyway, that was my review of the documentary. Overall, it was beautifully put together. Really showed me a side of Wham that I never knew before. I really enjoyed it. I would recommend anyone who's a fan of George Michael or Wham to give it a watch. The next part of the video is my top 5 George Michael - Wham songs. At number 5, Careless Whisper. That is my go-to karaoke song. Whenever that song comes up on the radio, you have to go there and just like pump up the volume. The fact that this song was written when he was only, I think, 17 years old is pretty insane. It kind of just shows how ahead of his time he actually was as a musician. And I think it would also be like very like criminal if I didn't actually put that song into the top 5. Love the song. It's his most popular song. And yeah, number 5. Number 4, it's Edge of Heaven. It's that song that really makes me want to get up and just dance every time. I love the aesthetic of the video, the black and white, him and Andrew on stage dancing and playing the guitar in front of that crowd. It's just really like a cool, you know, funky video. You know, it's the hair, it's the look, it's the stage presence. He's that complete musician, and you kind of see that in that video as well, so I really like that. At number 3, for me, one of, if not his most emotional song, it's A Different Corner. Why do I love this song? Because it really like tugs at the heartstring. It's one of his very like introspective songs. I think the video complements really, really nicely to the lyrics. It's an emotional song and a fantastic melody. At number 2, it's Freedom 90. For me, it's such a beautifully produced beat, you know, from the very first second, from like the drum beat, and I think it's such a beautifully written song as well. I really like the crescendo to the chorus. It's such a catchy song. I really enjoy it. And at number 1, yes, it's Everything She Wants by Wham. It is the perfect, for me, the perfect song. It's just beautifully written, phenomenal melody, and I've replayed that song about 1,000,001 times. I guess I don't know what draws me to that song so much, but it's just one of those songs. Something I can't explain. It's just like my favorite song of his. If someone would ask me, oh, why do you love George Michael and Wham so much? What about their music is so great? I guess I would just show them that video and I'll be like, listen, this is it. Listen to this song and you will get an idea. Yeah, it's my personal top 5. No one come at me because I didn't, I guess, include another epic song of theirs, but because it's personal to me, that's my top 5. Thank you very much for watching today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Really, I've been wanting to do this video about for a month or so, but I didn't because, yeah, some stuff just came up in June, kind of July-ish time, so yeah, but happy that I finally found a time to film it, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Please check out my other videos if you haven't already, you know. Give them a like or a dislike, and until the next one, which should come sooner than my last. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. Bye bye.